Feeling the beat, feeling the heat. On the powwow floor, we bring the street. Fancy dancers, jingle dress queens. We turn it up like you've never seen. Man's chicken dance, yeah, we got the groove. War dance warriors, watch us make moves. PWTN in the house. We run this town from the powwow circle. We wear the crown. Spirit moves, take me higher. Feel the power. Set the fire, powwow jams, we got 'em on repeat. PWTN represented, bring the heat.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try something
Feeling the
new,
beat,
man.
feeling the heat. On the powwow floor, we bring the street. Fancy.
Yeah, and I let the music play over again. That's the thing about this loop on StreamYard. It's kind of annoying, you know what I mean? I'm checking sound right now, so don't mind me. I'm gonna get right to business right after this. But I want to make sure that I have my powwow jams and my round dance jams in the broadcast. You know what I mean? And I believe I have that ability. So let's give it a. No matter what I do, no matter what I try, I guess I can hear it in the background. I wish you guys could hear it with me. I would have to get that fixed because it's really, to me, it's the inspiration behind the whole show. I'm being do this. Oh man, I'm gonna get to it right away today. So I want you guys to be excited. I'm gonna give about 50 minutes to an hour. I'm waiting for the B&B Indigenous podcast to come back on live. But I'm Powwow Television Network live streaming today. And yeah, it's pretty good. First actual full day of classes. 3 classes today, man. Oh, one after the other after the other. Man, man, man. All right. They're getting stuff done. So, oh yeah. Looking for comments, questions, concerns, story ideas. You guys want to share something with us? You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to send a message to B&B Indigenous Podcast. That's B, the letter N, the all lowercase Indigenous Podcast, all one word at gmail.com. So we want to hear from you guys. If you're not sure what's going on around the world, well, I'm here to tell you today, and we're going to be talking about some cool stuff right now. Turtle Island top stories, and well, you know what? This one's ongoing, and I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse. Let's just say that. And I shouldn't use that one. But there's so many different issues out there, that people just it's almost like they're too overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't know if you guys have heard recently. If you're on TikTok, like I am, I'm not on TikTok a lot anymore. There's just a lot of toxicity on there, and I just refuse to deal with. Anyway, I found an article I think you guys might appreciate from firsttribenation.com by the author is Ishmael Bay, posted January 26th this year. And I'm only going to read part of it because I think it's important that this conversation gets started in the indigenous community so that we can get our brothers and sisters from the African community and the Black American community on an even footing. And I know there's many in the Black community that understand what I'm talking about because they're thinking about the indigenous erasure as much as us. Although, and I want to be clear about this, there were things back in the day during, the Indian Termination Act, right? The Indian Blockade Act, slavery and apartheid in South Africa, and so on and so forth. And I mean, I'm not just talking about South Africa. I'm saying more specifically here in North America, where indigenous folks and African Americans came together and they created a protection for one another. Not the best, our people took care of the Black community like that back in those times. And that's something why it's so important to talk about what indigenous erasure is to us and why it's so critical that we address this. And I know there's members of our Black community here in the so-called states that would agree with the like absolute erasure of a person's own personal identity based on things that were said in the past. And that's why it's important. So I'm going to start off with this article so you guys get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Ethno erasure, aka blackwashing of the American Indian. Part one. If you guys want to read this again, you can find this article, First Tribe Nation, all one word.com, First Tribe Nation. Throughout American history, this is updated by February 8th. Throughout American history, the categorization of racial identities has often served as a tool for systemic control rather than an accurate representation of cultural heritage. Among the most overlooked cases of ethnic erasure is the misclassification of American Indians as black, a phenomenon with profound historical and cultural implications. The racial misclassification of American Indians has root in colonial policies and legal systems designed to erase indigenous identity. In the early days of colonization, laws like the quote one drop rule end quote in the United States rigidly categorized individuals based on perceived African ancestry, relegating many American Indians with mixed heritage to the black racial category, including some American Indians without mixed parentage. This not only ignored their indigenous lineage, but also subjected them to the systemic racism faced by African Americans. Each person has the right to self-define who they are in the context of social existence. It could be deemed normal to relate to blackness socially. Legally, the term black is a misnomer and was used as a legal weapon to detribalize the American Indians as a race of heritage, history, and birthright of the indigenous population. Some scholars argue that this misclassification was a deliberate strategy to undermine tribal sovereignty and erase indigenous land claims by classifying American Indians as black. Colonial authorities could obscure unique cultural identities and notify treaties that recognize them as distinct nations. Census records and other government documents have historically played a significant role in this misclassification. In the 18th and 19th centuries, enumerators often lacked the training or the willingness to distinguish between racial categories accurately. As a result, individuals who self-identified as American Indians were frequently reported as black, especially if they exhibited physical characteristics stereotypically associated with African ancestry. For example, the Dawes Rolls, the critical tool in determining tribal membership, often excluded American Indians who had been classified as black, effectively denying them their legal rights and cultural heritage. I want to articulate a couple of things that are also an adage to this ongoing situation. A lot of people out there have been misidentifying themselves as indigenous, and it's built up this really crazy belly or underbelly, a movement in the underbelly of TikTok and other social media platforms where um, they just they saw it in history and they've got all these examples, but every single one of those things has been proven to be wrong. And like I said, even our members of our community are like, yo, man, you're not gonna disenfranchise us like that. And then, like I said, other people in black, you're like, hey, you know what, we really appreciate, the true identity of our people, and by you acting that way, you're basically erasing our identity too. So, it's not just the natives that are dealing with this. We have to deal with this from the white supremacy narrative, the indigenous erasure, all sorts of different ways of attacking that by a pedigree and the blood quantum situation. There's so many other aspects to indigenous erasure. Taking people off of the land, for instance, is a huge component of indigenous erasure because it disconnects us with the spirit of Mother Earth and all sorts of different things. You compartmentalize people like that, they start losing their spiritual identity. Next thing you know, all the forces of self-destruction are planted in the community, and so on and so forth. And I want to hear from other people as well. If you understand this issue and if you've been affected by this issue in the Native community or in the Black community, we want to talk. We want to hear about it because I think in order to address these types of situations, we need to get out ahead of these situations, and that's the reason why I bring it up because I think it deserves to be heard and understood. You know what I'm saying? More top stories from Turtle Island, of course. San Carlos Apache tribe demands an investigation into group homes after Emily Pike's murder. This article by Sean Dean Silversmith from the 28th of this month, 28th of March. Happy April, man. April Fools. April Fools. You can find this article at azmirror.com. And yeah, San Carlos Apache Tribe wants state leaders to launch an investigation and implement stricter regulations for state licensed residential group homes that serve children after a tribal teen ran away from a facility in January and was brutally murdered. At the time of her disappearance, Emily Pike, 14, lived in a group home in Mesa. The San Carlos Tribe's Social Services Department placed her at Sacred Journey Incorporated, a residential child care center. Quote, this crime must not go unsolved, end quote. San Carlos Apache Chairman Tony Rambler said in a press release, Emily was murdered in a cruel, depraved, and heinous act, and perpetrators must be held accountable, end quote. Emily ran away from the group home and was last seen on the evening of January 22nd in Mesa Drive and McKellips Road, according to the Mesa Police Department. 2 days later, the police issued a poster for Emily, labeling her as missing or a runaway juvenile. A month after she went missing, the Gila County Sheriff's Office reported that Emily's remains were found on February 14th in a remote area off of U.S. Route 60 outside of Globe in the state of Arizona. If you want to find out or read more and continue on with this article, you can find that at azmirror, azmirror.com. Like every single Native person out there, I was beyond pissed off. I'm beyond pissed off every day at this kind of situation. And it leads me to ask you questions. What's the resolve? What are we going to do to curtail this violence in our Native communities once and for all? You know what I mean? And since, I'm like I said, I've got other things going on in my life with school and all of that. I really feel the need to get out here and start talking about it because it seems so underrepresented in the so-called United States. So-called Canada has an indigenous inclusion mechanism that's going on now. So many things are happening around the world. Matter of fact, the military agreements between Canada and the United States came to an end effectively just like 3 days ago. There's all kinds of stuff going on, where the foundation of this crooked nation of hostile immigrant invaders is completely changed. Now all of a sudden, everybody's starting to view the United States as like enemy number one, and that's all the world thing. But as long as we as Native people continue to allow this kind of sickness to, permeate throughout our communities like that, it's never going to stop. Which is why I say yes, we can have representation at powwows and an awareness campaign or a special regarding our missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. But until we start enacting legislation at the federal level and on the world stage and start pushing this issue through the United Nations, where it should be appropriately met and honored, and where these things can be changed, nothing is going to change. We are dealing worldwide with human and sex trafficking. There's no doubt about that. And there's a really big behind the scenes organism that exists that does these things like that. And no one has ever been effectively able to do anything to stop it. For quite a long time. And that's like well over 500 years since, this situation started globally anyway with the advent of ships that are traveling the oceans around the world. But this is just another aspect of disrespect in the community. The false identity and erasure of Indigenous people, that's just one aspect. The MMIW situation, the battle of, over land and water and other natural resources. I was going to talk about something really, really awesome, and I think it would be cool that you guys actually heard about this because it probably changed your life. You know what I mean? Like, hold on one second. And it's pretty cool because it has to do with some really, really awesome stuff. And I'm going to talk about hemp supercapacity um, if you guys are interested in what that is. Passage codes. There we go. So Google defines hemp supercapacitor as being like a superior energy storage device as opposed to lithium ion, right? Hemp carbon makes supercapacitors super fast, right? This article right here you can find on esme.org. Most people don't understand the truly diverse value of hemp, aka cannabis sativa. Cultures have depended on this hardy plant for centuries for clothing, fabric, and paper. Today, it is used also for food, fuel, medicine, building materials, and plastics. Now, the energy storage industry is starting to take notice, thanks to new Canadian research that shows supercapacitors with electrodes made from hemp-based carbon nanotubes outperform standard supercapacitors by nearly 200%. Now, carbon nanosheets is like I said, they take the carbon nanosheets and they put them together like that. These are made out of different fibers, okay? After the plant has been like shredded and the interior of the stalk is extracted. Actually, the whole plant can be used, but they prefer the really, there's a little puffy little substance inside the stalk of the plant that they're after because of its palpability, I guess you could say. Anyway, the carbon nanosheets that are produced from that can hold a charge superior to lithium ion, which is why I say what I say about the argument going on with Lithium Americas. And then there's another corporation. I gotta find that out. I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna have to call it out. Proposed lithium ion Southern Oregon. Oh, yes, there it is. I'm gonna turn Google down so you can't hear her one in her voice. So the Bureau of Land Management is rushing to get a project review. They ended comments from the public yesterday, and I think they only gave them less than 30 days. But this, and there I'm going to read a part of this article as well. This article is from opd.org. If you guys are interested in reading the full article, Bureau of Land Management rushes review of Oregon lithium project following Trump's executive order. This article by April Ehrlich of OPD, published on March 26th, and published online at about 5:20 p.m. Updated just 4 days ago from today. A proposed Southeast Oregon lithium project has been under review for 3 years. Now the Trump administration is giving people until Monday to comment before proceeding. The Trump administration appears to be fast-tracking an Australian company's lithium project in Southeast Oregon. And I did say Lithium Americas, Lithium Australia, and then Lithium Nevada. And then, of course, they have an office in British Columbia, too. So they're not that far outside of Oregon, the area of Oregon territory, if you will. The U.S. Bureau of Land Management on Wednesday published its environmental assessment of the McDermott Lithium Exploration Project, which has been in the works since 2022. It's giving the public until March 31st to read the 103-page assessment and submit input. The assessment says the project will begin, quote, immediately upon federal and state authorization. BLM spokesperson Larissa Borganis acknowledged in an email that the public comment period is shorter than typical, but added, quote, there are no specific timeframes regarding public involvement, end quote. The agency's assessment outlines the full scope of generally resources plans to search the area for lithium, a highly valuable metal used in batteries. Under its subsidiary, High-Tech Minerals generally aims to bore up to 800 feet into the earth across 7,200 acres in Malheur County near the Oregon-Nevada border. As I was saying, you have the difference between a hemp supercapacitor, which is superior to lithium technology. And I ask people to get these things on their own. Go out there and look at this situation for yourself and see. Earth-based technologies are far superior. Lithium ion is an earth-based substance. There's no doubt about it. But it is 150 million% toxic. And if you are carving up the earth like that, like with any other extraction industry, you're going to release toxins into the environment that are extremely detrimental to health for all human beings and all other living life. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you're poisoning the water that you drink, and so much more. And you're putting forever chemicals out there into these aquifers that are millions of years old. There's all kinds of stuff that if you know what's going on, you're going to be able to do something about it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. We're moving into superior science in it right now, and I want to talk about what the advantages are of the hemp supercapacitor. For one, Conversely, when compared to the lithium-ion battery, which does provide a long storage capacity, supercapacitors are 100% uh, toxicity free. So you crack it open, you open up that battery like that, you take out all those carbon nanoshoots, you crush them up, you can throw them right back on the ground, and you'll be able to cultivate the soil, and will actually enrich the soil with nitrogen and all sorts of cool possibilities using hemp supercapacitors. I just wanted to say that much today. You know what? I was going to get on and talk for a really long time, but I know I've got homework I got to do and stuff. I just wanted to talk about some important issues. I'm really excited. Hopefully, I get the podcast situation going back again. I'm going to do this, and even if it's just for myself, and hopefully, get some get an audience. I want to start getting guests back in the studio and talking to them and sharing dialogue rather than having myself do all the news and the broadcast in its entirety. I really wish my bro comes back, and I know he's got a lot going on too. But in time, things will work out the way that they need to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard this afternoon. And these are more than anything, they're just test episodes right now. I'm really trying to get more involved in getting more video and some other graphics so that I can have a broadcast that's worthy of an hour or two of people paying exclusive attention. Oh, and by the way, before I go, it is definitely spot check time. If you guys didn't know, I didn't get rid of this one yesterday, but if you guys didn't know, I make my TVs. This one's I said it's Laker colors. If you guys are interested, take a look. I'm gonna show you up close. Yep, I spray paint the tops of those. The first one to send me a message out there. As a matter of fact, no, I'm gonna change it. The third one to send me a message right now is gonna pick themselves up this teepee or one, like it, at least some of the colors that you might like. I make these all the time, by the way. I'm getting ready to go out on the powwow circuit in the summertime, and I'm going to bring a whole bunch with me. And hey, they're really good for Mother's Day gifts too, if you guys didn't know. And Easter's coming up too, so keep that in mind. April and May, that's right. You guys get to hide eggs and get your kids all spun out on sugar, and then celebrate your mom. Take her out to lunch or breakfast. You know what I mean, or both. You can do whatever you want for your mom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, there's the spot check. Let me know what you guys are doing. Hopefully, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Man, I have 4 classes, and I'm already tired. And I'm like, well, I better acclimate to this now, even though I'm getting older. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good one. And, yeah, we'll be seeing you again for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hold on a second. Right. I'm going to play my brother's song again because it deserves play, because radio stations know you playing like artists that are unsolicited anymore. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope you guys enjoy, man. And yeah, we'll see you again for sure. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
And around it go, ooh, down the rabbit hole. And around it go, hey, that's a wolf chasing me down the rabbit hole. Oh, 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 it's cold outside. And around it go, to the top, back down the rabbit hole. Sitting solitary and I think though, if it wasn't for that, where would I been though? They killing for nothing, look out the window. I can do bad by myself, what I need info. Close my eyes for a second, feeling the wind blow. Let the sun come, kiss me on the skin tone. Instead of chasing a rich soul, out of the way and back up into its big hole. Found gold, you was digging for the truth, huh? You can see the spirit in me when I move, huh? Hater probably thinking I'ma lose, huh? Stay hot, I ain't getting cool, fuck a pool, huh? Stick my head up for a minute, see how normal people live it, then it's back down the rabbit hole. Another dinner in the dark, my mind art, candle glow. Run around it go, run around it go, and around it go. Ooh, down the rabbit hole. And around it go. Hey, that's a wolf chasing me down the rabbit hole. Oh, 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 it's cold outside. around it go, to the top, back down the rabbit hole. I've been broken, I've been frozen, I've been chosen. Deep inside my spirit, in my fabric it was woven. I'm cut from a cloth that turns to steel if it gets stolen. Omen. I'm the one who be talking. Hella musical, I got a tattoo walking. In a cloud of smoke coughing. Saxophone sounds follow me when I be walking. This harmonic let me, before I turn the dust and blow away. I got a rabbit hole, lot to say. I be deep inside a hole when I pray. Take me in, I'm running out the other way. Run around it go, run around it go, and around it go. Ooh, down the rabbit hole. And around it go. Hey, that's a wolf. Chasing me down the rabbit hole. Oh, 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 it's cold outside. And around it go. To the top, back down the rabbit hole.